All right, so we're in Algebra 1, 3-8 word problems tables. Today's date is Tuesday, October 20th, 10/20, 2020, 10/20/2020. Our objective today is to what, Ripley?
Intercept and solve word problems with teams.
Yeah, it's actually interpret, but yeah. It does look very close if that R was a C, right? So strategy, look at the units. And I guess I should have put that strategy for yesterday's lesson also. The units kind of give the problem away if you know what you're looking for. All right, I need a beautiful voice. It could be Giorgio too. I know he's here. Diego, you haven't talked yet.
Example, when Larissa is selling is selling baked goods at a fundraiser. The table compares the number of baked goods and the total money in the cash box. There was an initial amount of money in the cash box.
There it is. And we have that table. And this is like a problem if you've ever gone to a fundraiser, especially for this year. We might not be able to go because of COVID, but every year we have some sort of fundraiser where we have money in the cash box. Yeah, let's come down here, read the question. What is the cost of each baked good? Maybe you're selling brownies. I don't know. You're selling something, but how much does each of those baked goods cost? And how do you tell just from the table? What am I going to do? One person has an idea. I only see one hand. No one else knows what to do. Go for it, Ripley.
Maybe $6 per.
How'd you get 6?
Because so it was 5, 10, and from 31 to 41. That'd be 5. Never mind. So then you just count up basically.
Okay, so yeah, let me keep up with you. So from here to here, that's adding 5. How did you get from 31 to 41? What's that doing?
You add down. No, you subtract. Or yeah, you add 5.
Add 5 to the left-hand side, but the right-hand side is
you add 10.
10. There it is. Okay.
Then, yeah. So then 5 for 1 it'd be $5, right? Or $1. Yeah. No.
I'm just gonna let you. I'm not putting any pressure. Take your time.
5. $2.50 for each one.
Really, really close. You're a little bit off. And I don't know. Can you explain your procedure? Because I mean, we can all get the answer. I'm really curious on the path that you did to get there. I try to follow in your head when you're speaking out loud. But what were you doing to try to get $2.50?
So I basically split 5 in half, which is 2.5.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Why'd you split 5 in half?
Because it's from the big goods, he buys 5 and then he buys 10. So that's kind of.
I still don't understand why you divide by 2. How does 5 and 10 somehow make you divide by 2? Okay. You can call on someone else to try this a different way. It's 2.
Each one costs 2.
How'd you get that?
Divided by 5. 10 divided by 5.
Why'd you do 10 divided by 5?
Because 10 by 10, and if you subtract 5, it's gonna be 0. Then at the other side it's gonna be 21, and the so it's gonna be 0, 21. So I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So I can help you with the explanation too a little bit. So we're trying to find cost per baked good. Oh yeah, go for it, Yesenia.
So what I think you have to do is to get baked goods to 0, so you will know like the initial money you have, and now you well actually not really, but you know you're going by 10, so you divide the 5 by like never mind, I don't know how to explain.
Okay.
Maybe.
It works in my head, but it doesn't work in my head.
Yeah, happened to me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Jose again.
Maybe you have to pay $21 to enter, and then if you add 10, it's gonna be 31, and then if you buy 5 baked goods, it's gonna be 5. So
Okay.
it's gonna be 2, I think, 2 per baked.
I mean, yeah, I agree that the answer is 2. I'm just curious on the path that you take to get there. Yeah. Can I hear from Alden next? Yeah, Alden.
Do we have to find the slope?
We do, yeah, and that's kind of the answer. Why do we have to find the slope?
Because like it's rise over run.
And what is the rise in terms of units?
Money is like
Yeah, it's just money.
money is y, right?
Money's the y, yeah.
And big goods is x.
Yeah, exactly. And you stole my thunder, which is awesome because that's how I wanted to explain it too. We're trying to find cost per baked good. We're trying to find money per baked good. This is the change in y, which Ripley said was 10, divided by the change of x, which is 5. By finding the slope, as Alden said, that's really the answer. So let me come back here and analyze that. If I want the cost per baked good, I'm really saying cost per, I really want to say brownie here because baked good takes too long to write, but I'll just say baked good, sure. Means I'm really doing this change in x or change in y. I guess if you want to consider this like the y column, this the x column, you can say it's really the change in y over the change in x, and that's, as Alden correctly identified, that is the definition of slope. And Ripley told us the change in y is 10, the change in x or the change in baked goods is 5. And in terms of my units, units are really important this lesson and the last lesson and the next lesson also. I'm not just going to write 10 over 5. I'm going to write $10, which is the unit here, per 5 baked goods. I'm getting weird lag here. That means if I reduce that fraction, 10 divided by 5, if I divide the top and bottom by 5, I get $2. So let me write down my work so everyone can see. I'm dividing the top and bottom by 2, divide the top and bottom by 2. And I have my new fraction, which is $2 per 1 baked good. Pretty fancy. All right.
Wait, but
Well, you have to divide it by 5.
yeah, but like yeah, I was gonna say wouldn't 10 divided by 2 be 5?
Why did I say 2? Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't.
Yeah, sorry, divide by 5. Why am I saying divide by 2? I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, if you guys caught that, give yourselves the extra credit.
No, I didn't catch that. No.
It always messes up when I try to erase.
I'm still asleep.
Divide by 5. You have to divide by the greatest common factor. Why did I think it was 2? I was thinking ahead. The answer is 2. That's not what I divide by. Yeah, so $2 per 1 baked good.
It's so right.
Yeah.
Do the math wrong, so it wouldn't be right if you checked it.
Right. So I guess another way of thinking about this problem is I need to find the price of 1 baked good because each baked good means one baked good. So I need to somehow simplify my fraction so that the denominator is 1. And luckily it already was. But if I had something like $3 per 2 baked goods, I would still have to reduce this until this bottom, this denominator was 1. And I would have to say, okay, well, that turns into 1.5 if I had some fraction like 3/2. So $1.5 per 1 baked good. So reduce until you get the denominator equal to 1. That's the cost of each 1 baked good. All right, and let's do the next question. How much money was in the cash box before Larissa's fundraiser? Because you started with some money. If you start the cash box with no money, then you're not able to give change when people need it, right? They give you a $20 bill and you're like, well, you're only buying a $5 brownie or $2 brownie in this case. You need to give change. How do we find how much money was in the cash box before the fundraiser? 2 people have their hands up, but those people have participated already. I want to give preference to other people that haven't spoken yet, like Ashley, Haiti, Braden. No? Okay, let's go with Yesenia. And then,
So that's it. What I said before, you're gonna have to get baked goods to 0. So you're just gonna like subtract the 5, and then you're gonna go back on this one, like minus 10, and it's gonna be 21. So like start with 21.
so going backwards 1 step, and then you get baked goods is 0. is 0, and money is equal to, what did you say? 31 minus 10 was 21. Okay, $21. Cool, and that makes sense, right? When baked goods is 0, you haven't sold any baked goods. That means you haven't started the fundraiser yet. So if you haven't sold anything, that's how much money you should have started with. Carlos is here. Oh, he can't hear us yet. Carlos is here. Buenos días, Carlos.
Buenos días.
Estamos trabajando en notas 3-8. Pero la mayoría de nuestra lección hoy es problemas de palabras y solamente tengo palabras en inglés, lo siento. Si quieres usar Khan Academy hoy, es bueno conmigo.
Ok, está bien.
Okay, gracias. All right, let's move on to example. Oh, before I do example 2, example 1, fist of 5. How well did you follow the first part and second part? I got 3s. I got a 5. I got a 3. I got another 5. I got a 4. I got a 3. I got a 5. I got a Ashley's at a 3. All right, let's move on to example 2. Oh, sorry, Giorgio was at a 4, I think. Example number 2. Oh, wait, I don't want to read. How about someone else read? Yeah, sure, go for it. Oh, sorry, Braden. Next time. Oh, yeah, go for it, Braden. Get in here.
Ulysses wants to buy some snacks from Chevron. The table compares the numbers of snacks that Ulysses can buy and the money that will remain in his wallet in dollars.
Yeah, so man, Ulysses is just packing. Look at that. If he buys 4 snacks, he's still got $72 in his wallet. Why is he going to buy 12 snacks? And he'll still have $36 left over. Dang. Man, he's buying all the snacks. Okay, yeah, the question is, how much money did Ulysses start with? How much money was in his wallet to begin with? Braden again, yeah. Not quite, because that's after he bought 4 snacks. I have to somehow start with whenever I had no snacks. I didn't buy any snacks, but how are we going to do that? And I'm still on you, Braden. If you want to answer it, you can, or you can call on someone else.
When you subtract 72 to buy okay, so the change in y would be -18, would be, yeah, and then the change in x is positive 4. So then you just hop 2 times, or from snacks you hop to get to 0, would be once. And from 72 you add 18 once, so then you hop once, so then 72 plus 18, 72, that'd be 90.
$90 the Chevron.
I have like
$90. There it is. All right. I think I annotated the word that you're saying out loud. $90. You guys agree? Thumbs up, thumbs down. I also give the thumbs up. Yeah, nice. Yeah, you analyze the pattern in the table, which we've done before. You guys know how to analyze the table patterns. But now it's kind of harder because the question isn't as direct as saying, find the x-intercept, find the y-intercept. You need to actually contextualize and say, oh, well, how much money did he start with? That means he hasn't bought any snacks. That means snacks is 0. How do I get snacks to 0? And then you have to use the patterns to find that, right? Yeah, so for some reason, Ulysses is very rich on that day. He has $90. I would have gone to monocone with that money instead of the Chevron, but that's just me. Okay, so, and then the next question, how many snacks can Ulysses buy at most? What if he just wanted to buy all the snacks for his friends or something? I don't know. Yeah, Giorgio, go for it.
You could have bought 20 snacks.
20 snacks. How'd you get that?
I added 4 to 12, 16, and then subtracted 18 from the other side. Got to 18, and then added 4 again, got to 20, and then subtracted 18 from 18 and got 0. So
18, 16. Yeah, it just kept going down on the table. So plus another 4. I ran out of room here. That's 20. Minus another 18. Minus 18. 18 minus 18 is 0. So no more money. And yeah, 20 snacks.
Why not?
As he's getting it for his friends. He's being generous. Thank you, Giorgio.
you could have bought one hamburger at Monocon.
For $90. I think you can buy a few. Yeah, there's another way to solve this too, and I want to talk about it just in case, because sometimes, yeah, getting the table is a great idea, but sometimes it's going to take like 5 or 6 steps, and it's going to take a long time. Since we know the initial amount of money was $90, if I have all of that $90, I can just divide that by the cost per snack. But I don't know what that is. What is the cost per snack? So the initial amount of money that I start with, if I just divide that by, I'll just write down here, cost per snack, whatever the cost per snack is, then I have the answer also. Is there any way that you guys can help me find the cost per snack? Yesenia? Again, yeah, that's the slope, because cost per snack, whenever you hear the word per, your ears should perk up and be like, ooh, slope, or each, that means slope. Cost per snack, that's slope. That's this delta y divided by that delta x. So I lose $18 every time I buy 4 snacks. And I can have my units here so you can see $18 per 4 snacks. The reason that we're negative is because it costs money. That money's coming out of my wallet. So 18 divided by 4. Let's do a little bit of math here. So I have 18 divided by 4. I'm going to divide the top and bottom by 2. So divide by 2. Divide by 2. It is exactly 4.5. Yeah, thank you. That's going to be 9 divided by 2. 9 divided by 2 is, 4.5 or 4.5. So it's $4.5 per snack, which means if I come back over here and erase the cost per snack, I can just put 4.5 out front. 4.5 cost per snacks. This is more of a calculator problem. Hello, Giorgio. Do you have a question?
Wouldn't it be negative 4.5 because you divided 4 by negative 18?
You're right that our slope is negative 4.5, but if I'm just asking how much does each snack cost, Chevron's not going to put a label of negative 4.5 because that means that they would have to pay you money for the snack. But you're right. The slope should be negative 4.5. I agree. Yeah. So if you don't actually need a calculator for 90 divided by 4.5. Can I show you some more math tricks? How to do this mentally? If 90 divided by 4.5, I'm first going to go up. I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by 2 times 2 times 2. Why not divide? Well, I want to get rid of the decimal. I get rid of the decimal, so I have 180 in the top, in the numerator, and in the denominator, 4.5 times 2 is 9. I've gotten rid of the decimal. Now I can reduce by dividing the top and bottom by 9. Okay, we need to stop shouting out answers. Divide by 9, but thank you. Divide by 9. 180 divided by 9. We'll think of this as 18 divided by 9. That's 2. Add on the 0. 20 per 1, or $20. 20 snacks, I should say. Not $20. 20 and 20 snacks. So another way to find that there are 20 snacks. Again, there are many paths to find the answer. There's no one correct answer. There might be a most efficient answer, but there it is. Now you see a few different ways to do it. All right, we have one more problem on the back. Ripley, do you want to read? Is that what your hand is up for? Okay.
Given his running amount, Mr. Warner, the table compares the total distance he has run in the time since Mr. Warner started his stopwatch. Unfortunately, Eamon started a little late because he used tight shoe.
Okay, there it is. So, no, I just made up these problems. So obviously he didn't start at 0 seconds. So at like 10 seconds, he's probably still at a distance of 0 meters. He hasn't moved because it takes him at least that long to tie a shoe, right? So our question is, how fast is Eamon running in meters per second? Oh, why did Mr. Sindel say it like that? I wonder why. Who have I not heard from? Haiti or Ashley? You guys, one of you two girls needs to help me. How fast is Eamon running in meters per second? Yeah, Haiti. Nine. I don't understand what you mean. 90 for distance?
Yeah.
Is that the pattern in the table? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Really close. So 150 to 250 is even more than 90. It's just adding 1 to the hundreds place, right? So I'm really adding 100, yeah. Adding 100, adding 100. What about the time? How much is it adding or subtracting, Haiti? Yeah, plus 30, plus 30. All right, so Haiti's done the analysis for the table. The question still remains, how fast is Eamon running in meters per second? And Haiti, if you want to keep going, you can. Otherwise, I was going to give it to someone else. All right, Ashley, sorry, I have to call on you. I have to get you in. When you hear the word per or each or velocity or speed or fast, I guess, what other word should you be thinking of? Or what formula should be used? Slope, yeah. And what is slope? What is the definition of slope? There it is, the change in y over the change in x. And if I label this as the y is the distance and the x is the time, can you use Haiti's analysis to fill in this equation? What is delta y over delta x as a fraction? Oh, really close. That would be delta x over delta y. 100 over 30. I'm going to still stay on you. Can you reduce this fraction a little bit for me, Ashley? I think I can divide 30 by 10, and I can probably divide 100 by 10. So let's divide the top and bottom by 10. Can you help me do that? You got this. So divide by 10 means you just cross off one of the zeros. Or move the decimal place, I guess. 10 over 3. 10 over 3. All right. So that is a good way to simplify it. And we're not quite done. I'm going to give it to someone else now because, I mean, we've reduced that fraction. That fraction is as reduced as we can get it, but it hasn't answered the question because, as I said back here, if I'm asking of something per each baked good, that's asking for the denominator to be 1. I don't have the denominator as 1, even though it is as reduced as I can. I have to now actually say this needs to be something over 1. Right now I have 10 over 3. What do I do, Jose? I agree. Yeah, we're going to have a decimal or some mixed fraction, yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. And do you know the decimal approximation for 10 divided by 3, Jose? 3.3, repeating. I put a little bar over that. I used to know the name of that. It's not called a bar. It's something else. Maybe we should look at that up. Yeah, so 3.3 repeating over 1. So per 1 second, which is what the question is asking us, per second, that means per 1 second. That's a 1 right here. How fast is Eamon running? It's 3.3 meters per second, which, yeah, is kind of, is that unrealistic? 3.3 meters per 1 second?
That would be very unrealistic.
Yeah, because
That might be like 1 point something meters per minute.
Because 1 meter is about the length of an adult male, right? So that's 3 adult males per 1 second. Ugh, that's, yeah, that is pretty fast. Okay. He's just going really fast.
He might be jumping.
All right. And then lastly, how many seconds did it take for Eamon to tie a shoe? What does that mean? What are we doing with our table? How are we manipulating? We're not dealing with slope in this case because Ashley and AD already did the slope for us. We've already used up the slope. I'm asking some new question, probably an X or Y intercept because those are the only other things that we typically talk about. How many seconds did it take for Eamon to tie his shoe? What are we going to do? Probably going to call on Ripley because I think everyone's in now, right? Yep, everyone's in. Yeah, Ripley, go for it.
Wouldn't you try to get time to 0?
Exactly.
2 hops from 30 would be, or from 60.
Oh,
2
actually,
hops from 60, and then you do 2 hops from 150, and then once you just divide.
so we'll try. Yeah, so if I do 2 hops, that'll be minus 30. I might have given you incorrect advice, and I apologize up front. So minus 30, and that gets to 0 seconds, right? Okay, and that means I have to do minus 100, minus 100. Minus 100. So what's 150 minus 100 minus 100? Okay, so it takes negative 50 meters. Yeah, okay, so I gave you incorrect advice. That's my bad. So while it's true that would be the y-intercept is negative 50, we're really looking for a number of seconds. So we want distance to go to 0. I know, it's not a nice number, right? If I do this minus 100, I get to this coordinate 30, comma 50. But how do I get that 50 to 0? Yesenia.
So, like, you know how once you were doing, like, find the slope and then divide that slope by 2? So basically that's what we're doing right here. So instead of the slope being 100, we divide it by 2 and it's going to be 50. And the other slope that's 30 divided by 2 is 15. So it's going to be like 30 divided by 2. No, 30 minus 15, and then 50 minus 50, and it's going to be 15 0.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up to you. Hold on. Catching up. So we had this in our table. You said divide the slope by 2. So instead of 100 over 30, it's 50 over 15, which means instead of minus 30, this 30 changed into a 15. So this turns into minus 15. What did we get for our new seconds, our new time after we did minus 15? Jose, you have to let her solve it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, 15. And then again, instead of 100, we divided that by 2, so it's 50. So we're going to subtract 50, and I can do the math for you. 50 minus 50 is 0, Yesenia. I know I'm really good at math. I did a heavy lifting there. What does that mean, Yesenia? There it is. Yeah, Jose? Yeah, and that's the y-intercept. Yeah, both of those are great analyses. The y-intercept is 15. It took him 15 seconds to tie a shoe. Oh, actually, I think it's the x-intercept, right? Because this is an x coordinate. Whenever you have a number for the x, that means it's an x-intercept. And so, yeah, so the y0 also is the definition of an x-intercept. Yeah. I'm glad that you mentioned that. That way we can analyze it further, Jose. Thank you. All right, yeah, so everyone write down our final answer. Eamon took 15 seconds to tie a shoe.
I think he's having some technical difficulties.
He was doing a really cool knot. Should I show you guys a mathematical way of tying your shoes? I bet you've never seen it before. So mathematicians study a lot of things. One of them is knot theory, how to tie knots and stuff like that. I'll show you a cool way to tie your shoe. But let's go ahead and stop the recording for now because that's a lesson. Let me stop.